All right, good evening, fastball fans. It is time for the nightcap here on the ISC Network. On Thursday, we've crowned an ISC 2 champion, Bear Bottom Lodge. We've just watched the Fargo Kegel Black Knights edge the AWP Lumberjacks 5-4 in losers bracket action. They advance to the losers bracket semifinal tomorrow night. They'll face the winner of this game between J&B from California and the Hill United Chiefs. Taking the field there are the Chiefs. You see your starter, Pablo Migliavaca. He'll face for the J&B squad at the top of the shop, Cesar Rodriguez. Be followed by Lenny Villavazzo. Then Blake Hunter, Derek Mason, Rafa Flores, Yader Chirinos, Mark Aranda, Chris Walushka, and Yusuf Davis in the 9 spot. Sean Cleary will do the pitching for J&B tonight. Defensively for Hill United, left to right across the outfield, Colin Walsh in left, Brad Ezekiel in center, Nico Carrillo back in right field, and then around the horn it is Jason Hill at third, Shane Boland at short. At second it's Tony Gonzalez. At first tonight it is Steve Mullally back on the field. Brett Larson will be the designated player for the Chiefs this evening as they make a subtle lineup change down at the bottom of the lineup. Hill United back to the broadcaster, unfriendly white-on-white jerseys. So just joining us on ISC Network, Blair Setford bringing all the action to you in English. My good friend Luciano Lafranco on La Liga Softball, bringing it to you in Spanish, on Espanol. So let's get ready to go. Hill United, J&B. We've been waiting for this one for all day. Cesar Rodriguez will lead it off. And thinking slap, Cesar Rodriguez gets the defense moving. Good change up there already, and that is one of the best that you'll see from Pablo Migliavaca. He's got a good one, and you'll see him work that in from his catcher, Bruno Matroni. Right through that one and back-to-back with the change-ups, and Cesar Rodriguez down on strikes just that quickly. So that'll bring up Lenny Villavazzo, second baseman. Villavazzo had a home run the other day to put J&B into the lead. It was all-world in 2019, the last ISC World Tournament. And we'll foul this one off at the plate. Jason Hill was charging in from third. Good to see Jason Hill back out on the field these days. Spent about a decade as a DH, it seemed like. Usually guys move from the infield to the outfield. Hill doing the opposite. So Migliavaca touches the Gorilla Gold rag and then comes in downstairs to Villavazzo. Called a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Pablo. And this one misses downstairs from Migliavacca. So full count, and this one is lifted out to short right, long run, and Gonzalez in a cloud of dust. Can't come up with it. Long run there for Tony Gonzalez from his second base spot. Nico Carrillo, that was going to be out of range for him. And downstairs, ball 4. So leadoff strikeout, and now a walk to the 2-batter. Lenny Viavazzo brings up Blake Hunter. And like a couple of guys here this week, we've been waiting for Blake Hunter to get untracked. Saw it with Federico Eder today. He really had an impact on that game for Kegel Black Knights as they move on. And right down Iowa Street with that pitch. And sharply hit up the middle by Hunter. Viavazzo is going to go coast to coast. Here's the throw. It's offline, and that allows Hunter to move up to second base. So J&B are going to threaten early. Right in the top of the first inning, runners at second and third for Derek Mason. Only one down in the inning. So Matroni will walk back behind the plate, and Derek Mason will step into your frame right there. Do a little landscaping. That's Blake Hunter peering in over to the shoulder, so to speak, of Pablo Migliavacca. Missing outside for ball 1. Home plate umpire looks that one away. So falling behind 2-0, Migliavacca going to have to come in to Derek Mason at some point. You see Hunter looking intently in at the signs. And called a strike as Migliavacca came back across. Matroni had crept out. Two-one, second and third for Derek Mason. Called a strike on the outside corner. Mason thinks that was outside. And a little kick of the dirt. To the hip for Migliavacca. And that pitch just that much further outside for a ball. Migliavacca being forced to work hard here by the top of the lineup for J&B. Full count. And time at the plate. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Mason is going to have some words for our home plate umpire, Kevin Wallace. I didn't recognize him with that, we call it, looking mask. So a lot of meetings already. We're only 4 batters into this game. And these are some of the reasons why the games take so long and run behind. Rafa Flores at the plate. Big home run for J&B yesterday. Opportunity here for Flores. Called a strike. I don't know who's trying to sell the pitches harder, Flores or Matroni. The two catchers, one's behind the dish and one's at the plate. Both of them are trying to sell pitches. Every single pitch. Outside, but called a strike. Matroni got the benefit on that one. Swing and a miss. Down goes Flores. So working into and out of trouble. Pablo Migliavacca responds with a couple of strikeouts of the 4 and 5 batters. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless. J&B Chiefs looking like a good one. Stay with us here on the ISC Network. So back for the bottom of the first inning. There you see Sean Cleary working to Rafa Flores. Sean didn't like the landing zone there, and Rafa probably didn't like that ball sailing over his head. For the Hill United Chiefs, it'll be Shane Boland, Nico Carrillo, Brad Ezekiel, followed by Bruno Matroni in the cleanup spot. Steve Mullally stays in the 5-hole. Jason Hill 6. Colin Walsh bats 7th. Tony Gonzalez 8th. And Brett Larson, the designated player, will bat in the 9 spot for the Chiefs tonight. Defensively, for J&B, Chris Perlushka in left, Yusuf Davis in center. Cesar Rodriguez is in right field. Around the horn, Blake Hunter, Yaider Chirinos, Lenny Villavazo, Derek Mason at first base. Cleary and Boland. Shane Boland has been on fire, on fuego this week for the Hill United Chiefs. Cleary starts him with a changeup. I don't know if that's what Shane was looking for first pitch from good friend Sean, but that's what he got for a strike. And in with the rise ball up and out of the zone for ball 1. It's crazy that we're this deep into the tournament already, but we got to start thinking about who are some of the favorites for the MVP award. And this guy would be near the top of the list for anybody who's not in a Gremlin uniform. He's been on a tear this tournament. I think he's had 3 RBIs in every game that we've done with Hill United Chiefs. So Cleary will take a walk to the back of the mound. Stop, collect his thoughts. Back to the board. And you saw Flores try to pull that pitch back into the strike zone. A couple of masters back there tonight. If you're a young catcher and you're still up with us, stay watching and you'll get a master class tonight. Upstairs to Boland. And a leadoff walk will bring up Nico Carrillo. Nico got an early shower last night after getting called out trying to steal on a delayed steal. Was asked to take the opportunity to leave the game early. Bunt attempt, and that one is fouled back. Jeff Ellsworth, old school, bunting in the first inning. Cleary leans, deals, and called a strike on that outside corner. That's a great spot for Sean Cleary. If he can pick apart that corner all night long, the righties in the Hill United lineup are going to have trouble. Swing and a miss. I'm not sure where Nico was going with that pitch, but my goodness, up and out of the zone. So that'll bring Brad Ezekiel. And very quickly, Justin Schofield and the bullpen crew sprinting out of the J&B dugout, and I wonder if Sean Cleary has aggravated that calf as he's called out Flores and the rest of the J&B team, and they're going to take some time. And you see Sean there flexing that right foot. But it was like a fire drill as Schofield and the crew came out, and he is throwing with some urgency down that J&B line. So Cleary will step in against the miracle worker, Brad Ezekiel. And that one's up and out of the zone. And Cleary doesn't usually miss by that much, so you have to wonder if that calf is bothering him again. Bradley, the miracle worker, because of the miracle catch last night, bottom of the seventh, stealing away what was going to be a game-winning home run for Jerome Remeke. And that one down low, and you see Sean with a bit of a limp, and again, did he just catch the cleat or what? But with the urgency that Schofield is warming up, you do have to wonder if Cleary said something to the bench. Goodbye. Wow, that was out of here so fast. Bradley Ezekiel absolutely annihilated that ball. It was out of here before I can even get an opportunity to get out of the chair to make sure that it was going to get out. Wow, Bradley Ezekiel, you can't hit a ball much harder than that. Wow. Hill United Chiefs. That leadoff walk comes around to score on the Bradley Ezekiel home run. And that'll bring up Bruno Matroni. And if Cleary is being bothered, how much longer do you go with him? And pours that one in the outside corner for a strike. And a good drop there from Cleary, making the ball move still. And another real good-looking drop. Down goes Matroni. You saw Flores put down the 2 for the drop, and good-looking pitch there from Sean Cleary. And this terrific camera view from our good friend here, Luciano Lafranco, gives us that great picture. See how much the pitches move. So Malali will stand in. changeup. Mullally way out in front, and with the difficulties he's having this week, that was not the first pitch he wanted to see from Sean Cleary. Mullally chases the rise ball up and out of the zone. You saw Sean shake off a couple pitches to get to that rise ball. We go with the drop on the outside corner, but Mullally doesn't chase out there. Two and two, two down. Chiefs already with two in. And this one well hit, deep center field. And that one is gone. Davis, valiant effort, can't come up with it. And Mullally breaks out with a home run. So Davis in some discomfort here as he made a valiant effort for that, but couldn't come up with it. And it looks like Davis coming right off. That's going to be a tough blow for J&B. Some excellent defense and a good batter in the 9 spot. We hope that Yusuf Davis is all right. You see Yusuf Davis just there on the edge of your frame, making his way into the J&B dugout, and everybody up on their feet, and a good word for and a good thought for Yusuf Davis. So while we have a delay, you see Cleary playing a little bit of catch with Villavazzo. So we'll see who comes on here for Hill United. Jesse Palacios comes out with a glove and now appears to be heading back to the J&B bench. So, not sure where Jesse Palacios thought he was going, or where they thought they were sending him. but it's taken a couple of minutes here at least for Bob Berger and J&B to figure out exactly what they're going to do. My guess is it's going to be one of Cody Crowell or Jesse Palacios. It certainly isn't going to be Schofield. Highly unlikely to be Brian Banner. Don't know that Brian plays the outfield. And then there's Gabriel 3, who was our mystery runner the other night. And don't know what they're thinking. There you see some of the ongoing conversations. Kevin Wallace over talking with Jason Hill. Mark Ronda, who was the designated player, will come out to play defense. So that's interesting. I don't know what they're going to do in the Davis spot just yet. So unless this is the blood rule substitution, where you have a couple of innings where a player has visible blood and essentially what amounts to a free substitution, to wait and see. Maybe that's not quite the last we've seen of use of Davis just yet. Called strike on the outside corner to Jason Hill. So we'll get back to the business at hand. Hill United Chiefs riding the home run train right now. And it's the Newfoundland home run train. And Hill, little excuse me, check swing, and pops up to Villavazo. That's the end of the inning, but they put up 3 big runs in the bottom of the first inning. Hill United Chiefs take the lead. The Yater Chirinos, Marco Ronda and Chris Walushka. Still not sure what they're going to do in the use of Davis spot in the order. And there's a changeup from Pablo. And Chirinos way out in front. So J&B had dug themselves a bit of a hole. And now they'll have to try and climb out of it. And another changeup and another beauty from Pablo Migliavaca. Changing speeds and hitting spots right now. downstairs from Migliavaca. Chirinos pounds this one into the ground. Boland comes across and good strong throw to get his counterpart. Bring up Mark Aranda. Oh, a change up again from Migliavaca. You see Aranda had to literally step out. That was a beautiful pitch. Knee high, died at the plate. And set up way outside by Matroni. And that one misses down and away. So 2-1 to Mark Aranda. And they've got that pitch dialed in tonight. It is a gem for Pablo Migliavaca. It is working right now every time, able to pull that string. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. That is a great sequence there from Pablo Migliavaca and Bruno Matroni. Chris Walushka. That pitch misses down and away. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Comes across. Outside. Haven't been able to find a pattern in anything that Migliavaca is throwing. Walushka chops this on the ground to Boland to first. Another 1-2-3 inning. Couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Pablo Migliavaca gets the United Chiefs back onto the sticks. Bottom of the second coming up. So Sean Cleary back out on the board here. Sean Cleary going to try and gut this one out a little bit further. Certainly looks to be favoring that right leg a little bit. Colin Walsh, Tony Gonzalez, Brett Larson, 789 for the Chiefs. Hasn't been friendly for Cleary with the home batters. Both the home runs hit by his fellow Newfoundlanders. Bradley Ezekiel, a 2-run shot, and then Steve Mullally, a solo bomb. Mullally has struggled all week, so that home run has got to be a relief for him. Walsh swings and misses there. So that's Walushka, who's moved over into center. And then Rodriguez looks to have moved over to left field. And Aranda out here in front of us in right. Swing and a miss. Down goes Colin Walsh. Cleary spotted that pitch well on the outside corner. Gonzalez, who hit the ball really well last night in the Gremlins game. Of course, just about everybody hit the ball really well at some point or another last night. And that's chop foul. Cleary more deliberate than ever. And that pitch misses down for a ball. One and one to Gonzalez here. And that one misses inside. So 2-1 to Gonzalez. I'm not sure what that was all about. Flores was pointing off in the distance or something. Downstairs, says Kevin Wallace. You see Flores waving the glove. He was directing the outfield to be 5 steps to their right. And that pitch goes right back up the middle. It was exactly where Walushka was standing, so Flores had that part right on. Brett Larson will step in. Brett Larson, in addition to the Hill United lineup for this week. Normally, Brett would be here with the Irma Tigers. Irma won the ISC 2 division a couple of years ago, competed well in the World Tournament in 2019 in Denmark. Inside from Cleary, a brushback pitch. Flores needs some more directing for the outfielders as Rodriguez shifts around over there and left. That pitch just off the outside corner. I think Sean was looking for that one. Just a barely imperceptible shake of the head there from Sean Cleary. That's about as much emotion as you'll get out of the Iceman. Swing and a miss there by Larson. Went after that drop. Two balls, two strikes. And strike three. Two down. Strike three. Shane Boland will step back in for his second. And if Flores is directing the outfielders around, he may want to direct on this side of the fence. That's where most of what Shane has hit has landed this week. A rocket out to left. That's going to get to the wall pretty quick. On the move and scoring all the way from first is Tony Gonzalez. And another RBI for Shane Boland as he pulls into second with a double. Gonzalez was on his horse all the way around second, a wide turn to set up the turn at third, and really dug in with a good slide. And emerging from the dugout again is the bullpen gang. Schofield will go get ready again. And there's 4-0 lead for the Chiefs. A couple of chances for J&B in the first, and they couldn't take advantage, but Hill United definitely have. Three very hard hit balls. The 2 home runs and that double by Shane Boland. But especially the Ezekiel home run. That was out of the park in just a microsecond. Hill United very vocal from the bench. Cleary, a very long look in. Foul back by Carrillo. Had a real good hack at that Sean Cleary pitch. Some more bat waggles from Carrillo. Now Cleary gets set. And swing and a miss. Carrillo down on strikes, but Hill United add another, courtesy Shane Boland. He adds to his RBI total. The Chiefs add to their lead. J&B need to answer. We're going to go to the top of the third, see if they have one. So Jesse Palacios is into that 9 spot in the order for J&B. Yusuf Davis came out of the game after that tangle with the fence on the Steve Morali home run. It'll change his speed from Migliavaca. Palacios can't get the bat off the shoulder, down on strikes. And we'll go back to the top of the shop for Cesar Rodriguez. Five Ks through the first 9 for Pablo Migliavacca. Rodriguez fouls that one off at the plate. Hard hit through the 3.5 hole in between first and second. Big turnaround first, and he will wisely retreat. So Cesar Rodriguez changes the outcome the second time around with a good-looking single. Lenny Viavazo walked. Got as far as third. That was as far as he got back in the first inning. And this one is laced. Bradley Ezekiel cuts it off. Strong throw to third again, but safe, and up to second goes Viavazo. These top two guys in the J&B order run very well and aren't afraid to go coast to coast on the outfielders on Hill United. Bradley Ezekiel throws just about as well as anybody, but in safely. With Cesar Rodriguez at third, and Viavazo takes advantage of that and goes up the extra base. So runners at second and third. Matroni out to the board. And now he'll retreat back behind home plate. But just like in the first, the top of the order looks a little dangerous for J&B. And into Blake Hunter for a strike. Some action now in the Hill United bullpen with the broadcaster unfriendly white-on-white uniforms. Looks like Patrick Burns from quite a distance. Devin McCullough, I'm pretty sure, is out there playing security. And just the height differential leads me to believe that definitely Burns throwing. Lifted straight up. Boland races in from shortstop. Doesn't let anybody else play the reindeer games. And we'll pull that one in. Definitely a take charge play there by Boland, the shortstop. But that's a big out, getting Blake Hunter to pop up on the infield, especially with runners on the corners. Mason can't pull the trigger on that inside pitch. And misses downstairs. So 1-1. 2 out on the inning. Upstairs to Mason. He's not going to chase up there. So Matroni with some words of wisdom for Pablo Migliavacca. Walks the ball out to the mound to deliver it personally. And now Shane Boland will come in and remind Pablo about something. That's a lot to think about when all you need to do is throw a strike. And this one fouled off right over the fence and into somebody's lap. Just beyond the fence there on the fan side. And then we'll get it right back in, too. Burns continues to throw down the line for Hill United. He and McCullough discussing strategy as much as anything else. So Migliavacca, the turn, the wrap, and outside and low. Rodriguez over at third, Viavazo at second. Second time they've had two runners in scoring position. And Mason pulls this one just foul as Malali reaches across the bag. Migliavacca works, and ball 4 to Derek Mason. Good patience at the plate by the veteran Canadian from Vancouver. And bases loaded for Rafa Flores. Flores down on strikes, his first at bat. But as you saw the other day in the JB game, he can put a ball out of a park in a hurry. Fouled off at the plate, and you wonder if that was the pitch that Flores was looking for. The ever-animated Rafa Flores. There's always something going on. So Flores will step out. Migliavacca making some adjustments out on the board. Called a pitch, or called a strike rather, in the outside corner. So advantage Migliavacca. And down and out for ball one. Still advantage Migliavacca. And 2-2. Flores calling no as that pitch got near the plate. So the big man from Venezuela, the opportunity to get J&B back into this one. And calling no again before Kevin Wallace has the opportunity to make the call. Flores trying to bat and umpire all at the same time. So after falling below 0-2, Flores battles his way back to a full count. And this one is out to center, but that's a can of corn for Bradley Ezekiel. And Migliavacca works out of that bases-loaded jam, getting Flores to fly out. Hill United will come to the plate. Bottom of the third. Coming up, they lead 4-0. So just in between innings, we heard a bit of an injury report on Yusuf Davis. Sounds like he broke a finger getting tangled up in the fence on that Steve Mullally home run. Bit of bad luck, obviously, for Yusuf Davis. Hopefully nothing too serious. Bradley Ezekiel at the plate for Hill United. A vapor trail of a home run back on the first to get Hill United on the board. That pitch misses downstairs. If you heard Bradley Ezekiel on the Hilly and Lolly Dust Up podcast, 3 weeks ago. I heard him talk about facing Jason Hill in the league right before a tournament where they were getting on a plane together. Ground ball through the left side. Going to have to hurry to go get that. Is Rodriguez over in the corner, but Brad Ezekiel up to second base with a double to left field. And, of course, Jason Hill and Bradley Ezekiel teammates, but Hilly plunked him nonetheless in the league on a Thursday night. And then they met up at the airport first thing Friday morning, got on the plane, went to the tournament. So Bruno Matroni, who went down on strikes in the first. There's a chopper on the infield. The winner of this one will face the Fargo Kegel Black Knights in the losers bracket final. Sorry, losers bracket semifinal on Friday night. Losers bracket final will go Saturday afternoon, immediately preceding the ISC championship game. Inside to Matroni. And chop foul by Matroni at the plate. Matroni and all of his Argentina national teammates got quite the hero's reception when they got back to Paraná in Argentina. A parade through the streets from the airport. National press coverage, sporting awards. And Flores didn't like whatever he thought Cleary was going to throw, and he will go out to the board, and this will be a real meeting of the minds, United Nations meeting. Got to make sure everybody's on the same page. You're going to change the signals with Ezekiel out there on second. And clearly Flores didn't feel like everybody was on the same page. Matroni has to jackknife back out of the way of that. And that is caught. Mason picks that off. So that one hopper to Mason. And Ezekiel is able to move up to third. Strike on the outside corner. Mullally take a bit of a walk on that one. Steve looking to build on the momentum of that solo home run. Well, you see Kevin Wallace look up that pitch away. One ball, one strike. And the heavy swing takes Mullally's feet from out underneath him. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on the co-host of the Dust Up podcast. And fouls that one off at the plate. So we'll stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And swing and a miss, right through goes Mullally. Two down on the inning. The podcasts have just been a great innovation during the interruption that we've had over the last year and a half. Seemed like it started almost simultaneously in Atlantic Canada and Western Canada. Out west, it was the Tues Talk guys, Donnie Atkinson. Donnie gets to play the straight man with Cleary. Will pick that up, and we'll pick up the podcast stories on the way back. Cleary keeps the door shut in the third. We'll head to the top of the fourth. J&B chasing 4 runs. there, Chirinos. Mark Aranda. Chris Walushka. 6-7-8 for J&B. They've been moving the ball periodically against Pablo Migliavaca, but haven't been able to get that key hit at the right time to bring around some of the runners that they've had on base. Just need that clutch hit, and maybe the momentum will change. But right now, it's Pablo Migliavaca has been able to keep this lineup at bay. We started to talk about the podcast a little bit, and the twos talk with Donnie Atkinson, and this one is right back up the middle. And Chirinos, a leadoff single for J&B in the top of the fourth. Donnie Atkinson, Dean Holine, Keith McIntosh, a pair of Hall of Famers. And they get some great guests. Mark Smith, the Canadian Women's Olympic Team coach, ISC Hall of Famer, has been on a couple of times at least. Peter Labardius, big fastball fan, but an even bigger World Junior Hockey fan. And Calgary Flames broadcaster. They had Mark Sorensen on a couple of times, and those were some very interesting talks as well, as Mark talked about the cultural significance of the haka to the New Zealand Black Sox team and how it was misunderstood by a lot of opposition, and Dean Holine wishing that when he was younger somebody had explained to him what it was and why it was being done before games. The Twos Talk guys do a great job, not only on the girls' side, but they took a boys' team down in New Zealand a year and a half ago, right before COVID, and toured New Zealand. They went undefeated on their tour, and hopefully that's the start of something we're going to see from Western Canada, will be the development of that type of team and that type of program. It was great to see. Out in Atlantic Canada, Randy Frame came up with the idea of, why don't we talk about fastball if we can't play, and conscripted his buddy Chris Hopewell into sitting in with interviews with him, and they started with Justin Schofield, and they've gotten bigger and better. Some great names on the women's side as well as on the men's side of the game, and do a great job talking fast pitch softball religiously. Every Monday morning there is an Outside the Chute in your Facebook and Twitter feed. And then the guys down in New Zealand, Damien and Chopper, bringing us the family stories and the inside stories with many of the New Zealand Black Sox. And you get to know how guys like Brad Rona and Joel Evans and Cole Evans got into fast pitch softball, and how Nathan Nukunuku really wanted to be a rugby player, but almost by accident fell into being one of the greatest Black Sox ever. So Marco Ronda down on strikes while we're rolling through the podcast wind-up. And then we just mentioned Dust Up with Hilly and Lawley, getting some highly entertaining and funny stories with teammates and former teammates. There's one, and safe. Chris Walushka beats out the backside of that double play. So Jesse Palacios will find a spot in that batter's box where he feels comfortable. And chopped on the infield. Hill Has to hurry. Out. Got him. Good throw there by Jason Hill. Jesse Palacios runs very well, and Jason Hill shows he can still play some good defense. J&B gets some runners aboard, but can't bring anybody around. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Hill United Chiefs still up by 4. Bottom of the fourth, Colin Walsh, Tony Gonzalez, and Brett Larson, 7-8-9 for the Hill United Chiefs. Downstairs. Sean Cleary continues to gut this out on clearly less than 100% conditions, health conditions for Sean. Schofield up again and throwing hard down in the J&B bullpen. And Walsh cuts over the top of that. Good drop from Sean Cleary. I think as we mentioned, Colin Walsh, Sean Cleary will be core members of the Canadian national team. Shane Boland on that squad, Jason Hill. Brad Ezekiel, of course, a member of the core squad. Steve Mullally has stepped down from Team Canada. So there are some openings. Derek Mason, member of the core squad. Down goes Colin Walsh, second time tonight on strikes. I would expect Chris Walushka, unless he has stepped down, likely also will be named to that squad. As there's another event in Saskatoon, the Grand Slam, coming up on the Labor Day weekend, and I would expect it's not the official Canadian Championship, but it is kind of the unofficial Canadian Championship this year, and I would expect that the national team will be rounded out shortly thereafter. That pitch outside to Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez singled his first time around. Big cut there by Tony Gonzalez. I wouldn't say he was going to come out of his shoes, but close. And that is right down Iowa Street for a strike. So 3-2 for Tony Gonzalez. Cleary wraps to the side. Rise ball upstairs. Wow, climbed the ladder on Tony Gonzalez and got him swinging at one in his eyeballs. Sean always very meticulous about his landing area. And if you're trying to battle through an injury, you need to be. The last thing you need to do is to be thrown off balance. That pitch looked off by Kevin Wallace, was outside. Brett Larson from Irma, the batter. And a great play by Villavazo to knock that down, but can't get the speedy Brett Larson, who picks up his first hit of the World Tournament as a Hill United Chief. And he'll be aboard for Shane Boland. Boland has just been an RBI machine this week. Had an RBI double his last at bat. The ball must just look like a beach ball right now for Shane Boland, seeing everything so well. Called a strike. Shane not playing in the St. John's League this year. He's been posted up in Labrador. Shane, a police officer, back at home. So he said he's been hitting balls off of tees and was just thrilled to get the opportunity to face some live pitching as Hill United came down, played in the Tin Cup tournament, looked a little rusty there, went over, played some exhibition games, went to ASAs, played some more exhibition games in between before coming here. And certainly Shane Boland is peaking at the right time here in the ISC World Tournament. That one chopped foul. Cleary looking at the opportunities that he's got for round spherical objects. Getting his choice. So 2-1. Cleary to Boland. And upstairs to fellow Newfoundlander. Two balls, two strikes, two out. One aboard. Brett Larson out at first for Shane Boland. And can't entice him to go after that pitch off the outside corner. So 3-2. Flores going to remind everybody that there's two out. Larson, of course, will be on the move. The Hill United bench in full throat. Called strike three, right down Iowa. Shane Boland can't get the bat off the shoulder. Sean Cleary wins that particular battle. Cleary doing his best to hold J&B in there, but we're going to go to the top of the fifth, and they really haven't been able to do much against Pablo Miglavaca. He has held this team down. He's taken a couple of punches here and there, but has been able to bob and weave and hold J&B at bay. Good job by, well, I can't even really call Pablo the young Argentine anymore. That was 9-10 years ago that they came to Midland with that U19 team. I guess he's still young in that regard. But he'll go 4, and Pat Burns as the size differential as opposed to a number differential on these broadcast unfriendly white-on-white uniforms. That's Pat Burns on in relief for the Hill United Chiefs. Burns, a hard-throwing right-hander from Saskatoon area. This one downstairs for a ball. Top of the order for J&B, Cesar Rodriguez, Lenny Villavazzo, Blake Hunter. Pablo Migliavaca does a real good job, goes 4. Gets through the order twice. Able to close down this J&B team the couple of times that they did threaten. And foul back out of play by Cesar Rodriguez. And as Patrick Burns comes in, Devin McCullough continues now the bullpen session that Burns started. As this one is skipped in by Burns. Burns had to make a return trip home and didn't spend the entire 3 weeks down here as most of the Chiefs did. Flew in on the Wednesday or Thursday prior to the Tin Cup tournament. The walk to Rodriguez, that'll bring up Villavazzo. Single and a walk. Rodriguez, single walk and a strikeout. J&B's had their chances tonight, but here's another opportunity where they have got to get a couple of guys aboard and then get a key hit. Just haven't been able to get that key hit through so far. Burns, at least blessedly, has picked up the pace. Just inside to Villavazzo. Swing and a miss. Down goes Villavazzo. And Burns looks like he brought some good stuff with him to the game tonight. So Blake Hunter. These guys see each other a fair bit. That's a good rise ball from Pat Burns, breaking away from Blake Hunter. And just blows that one right by Hunter. Drop ball just misses down at the knees, down below the knees. Lifted up, but that's going to go foul out of play. So Burns back on the board. Just misses outside with that one. Two balls, two strikes to Blake Hunter. And chases after that one up and out of the zone for strike three. Pair of strikeouts after a leadoff walk in the inning. And Derek Mason will step in to take his turns against Patrick Burns. Balls behind Mason, 2-0. And make it 3-0. So Burns, as good as he looked against Viavazo and Hunter, can't find the zone against Derek Mason right now. Swing and a miss there by Mason. So Burns has battled back to get a full count after falling behind 3-0. Called strike three. Pat Burns, a leadoff walk, and then three straight strikeouts. Derek Mason's been caught a couple times looking tonight, and that's not usually in his repertoire, as he has a quiet conversation with Kevin Wallace, and Bob Berger comes down to intervene. Hill United going to come up in the bottom of the fifth. Stay with us on the ISC Network. Nico Carrillo, Brad Essicle, Bruno Matroni for the Chiefs this inning. Swing and a miss. Sean Cleary still out on the board, still battling for J&B. Hasn't got any offensive help tonight, but it's been done in by a couple of home runs, one by Brad Essicle, one by Steve Mullally, and then an RBI double by Shane Boland. For a big man, Nico Carrillo moves pretty well, and he does that surprise bunt more often than you think and can drop that down and beat it out. J&B defense semi-shift as everybody is 3 steps to their right. Big cut by Carrillo, and Sean Cleary's had his number tonight. That's the 3rd one for Nico. Some guys you have their number and others have yours. And tonight Sean Cleary definitely has Nico Carrillo's number. Brad Essicle, on the other hand, has had Sean Cleary's. A home run and a double. One and 0. That one's going to rattle around in the stands. A little emptier now than they were at the start of the game, as Hill United seems, I emphasize, to have this on cruise control. Ball comes in, and Sean will get his pick. Cleary falling behind. And Essicle will tap that out to left field. And if he comes around again, he'll just need the triple for the cycle. That one often seems to be the hardest one to get. So Matroni up with 1 down and a man on. Downstairs. Big cut there from Matroni. Can't come up with it. and swing and a miss at that drop ball down in the dirt. Cody Crowell now playing right field for J&B. Because I'm going to assume he's gone into the 9-hole for Palacios, who was previously batting for Yusuf Davis. If you weren't with us earlier, Davis getting tangled up with the fence on a attempt to chase down a home run by Steve Mullally and apparently broke a finger. We'll wish Yusuf Davis a speedy recovery. So 2 down. And Mullally. It's been all or nothing for Steve tonight. A home run and a strikeout. Called a strike. Mason is 10 feet off the line over at first. And Mullally, little tapper on the ground. They try to snap throw and safe. Mullally beats that out. An infield single is just a little bleeder up the third base line. Blake Hunter, valiant attempt, but ball didn't travel far enough for Hunter to get to it in time. So I'll bring up Jason Hill with 2 aboard, and big opportunity here for Jason Hill. That skips in, and everybody's going to move up 60 feet. Ezekiel to third. Mullally up to second. Heard through the grapevine that Mullally battling a bit of a groin injury, but has been waving off pinch runners. Mason in to chat with Cleary. Viavazzo backed up 3 steps, got that on the short hop as it stayed down on him as well, but able to make the play and end the inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Chiefs 4, J&B, no score. Couple of top catchers in the world in your frame there. Bruno Matroni, Rafa Flores, and Patrick Burns delivers the first pitch of the inning, and it's fouled off by Rafa Flores. Hill United needing to get a spotter out there for Devin McCullough, who has resumed throwing down the line. That was the reason for the delay. Flores calling balls and strikes again as they arrive at the plate. No to that one, and Kevin Wallace happened to agree. And foul that one down the right-hand side. Waggle from Flores. Setup was outside, and they came back in, but it was down low. Two balls, two strikes. Burns waiting for the right ball to come back in. Finds one he likes. So we'll get back to the board. Flores at the plate. And this one foul off again. We'll hopefully not wait for that one to come back in before we resume the action. Hard hit ball. That's going to come out to Nico Carrillo out here in right field. Flores aboard with a single. And with some of the defensive moves that J&B have had to make. We got Gabriel 3 left should they want a runner for Flores. Yader Chirinos at the plate and chases that outside offering from Burns. Chop that one foul, so very quickly 0-2 on Yader Chirinos. Watching Rafa Flores do a little two-step shuffle, teasing Bruno Matroni behind the plate. Hard hit ball right back up the middle by Chirinos. Flores is going to bluff around second, and having seen a good, strong couple of throws from Bradley Ezekiel to third, wisely pulls out the chute at second and stays there. No point running into an out, taking yourself out of what might be a big inning. And Jeff Ellsworth will come out and have a chat with the tall right-hander. So meeting adjourned. The bullpen contingent from Hill United making their way back to the bench, so McCullough would be ready if called upon. And this one is picked off by Boland. He's able to stack on second and get one. And we've got a big uproar now. And we'll have an umpire meeting on this one. Not quite sure what everybody's consternation is about here. The J&B bench just erupted. The question was, did Boland have control of the ball at second when he was stepping on the bag, attempting to step on the bag? Because he bobbled it a bit. He ended up getting Aranda at first. But Chirinos, I believe, is going to be safe at second, as Boland didn't quite have control of it until after he had stepped off of the bag. Seems to be the case. So runners at second and third now. Chris Walushka ground out the fielder's choice tonight. And we've had this situation a couple times for J&B. And they just haven't been able to get the key hit. And swinging under that rise ball there is Chris Walushka. Burns sets and delivers. Called strike three. Walushka can't get the bat off the shoulder. Burns has surprised a couple guys tonight by coming right at them with two strikes. And Brian Banner will make a pinch hit appearance. Banner, I haven't seen Brian get into a game yet this week, so this may be his first appearance. There's a called strike. You see where Chirinos thought that pitch was. It wasn't that high. Both benches getting into it right now. And called strike 3 in the outside corner. Patrick Burns gets a couple of strikeout looking. And once again, J&B runners at second and third and can't get a key hit. 3 times tonight they've had that situation, and 3 times they've been turned away. Chiefs keep the door closed. They'll come to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. Cleary starts off with a changeup here in the bottom of the 6th as Colin Walsh leading off. But that's not Colin Walsh. That looks like it is Jeff Lyons, I believe. Quentin Bruce is the pinch hitter. So Bruce in for Walsh, who hasn't been able to figure out Cleary whatsoever. So with Bruce out, that'll bring up Gonzalez. Called strike on Gonzalez leading off there. Well, 2 on Tony Gonzalez. Flores did his best to sell that to Kevin Wallace, but couldn't get him to buy. Gonzalez will pop that up. Chirinos will range well over and put that in his back pocket for second out of the inning. Brett Larson will get another look at Sean Cleary. Singled his last trip. And drills this one out to center on a line. Brett Larson 2 for 3 tonight. Impressing in his first appearance as a Hill United Chief. Shane Boland, who has excelled in these situations, generating runs for the Chiefs all week. Called strike on that outside corner. Boland chops that foul, so 0-2 on the Chiefs' leadoff batter. The outfield was convinced that was a strike. They were all headed in. Larson at first, Boland upstairs. Just hasn't been able to get Boland to chase for that third strike yet. J&B guys again thought that they had caught Shane looking, but not yet, says the only guy who matters. Good. Thought he got it all, but he got too much of it. He was out in front of it. I was about to say good nights, but that one well foul. Off the bat, it certainly looked like it was going to leave the yard. It did. It left the side yard, though. So Boland will look to straighten that last one out. And we'll nub this one foul down the right side. So 3-2. Payoff pitch to Boland. Foul again. Anything out to the grass at this point is going to need to be wiped down as the dew settles in as we approach the midnight hour. Central Time here in Eldridge, Iowa. Boland fouls this one off again as this battle will rage on between the two, who will probably be on the same plane home back to St. John's at some point. Swing and a miss, took something off. Boland over the top, and Cleary ultimately prevails in this battle of wills and hearts and minds. We'll go to the top of the 7th.